Hello, everybody. Stephanie here. Greetings. Greetings. From home. I'm at home. I've been at home quite often. It's quite frigid outside. So, for those of you who are used to me coming live from different locales, um, this is winter, and this is work hard, play hard, rest hard. This is the middle of the rest hard. So, today's vlog is, oh, how I need a jolt. I mean, you can tell just by looking at me. I'm struggling. I'm totally not doing this. And here we launched YouTube channel the first of the year, and I've gone live once since then. The holidays, like I told everybody, I was taking off. I took off time from all social medias, and it was a wonderful little break, and just to be able to spend time and enjoy the kiddos while they're still little. But it has been a little difficult to get back into the groove, so sorry about that, and I'm gonna try to do better, but I'm not gonna make any promises because sometimes can't really do juggle everything. So what was that, Tuesday, Monday? Oh my gosh, really? Has it been that long? We launched Monday, and here it's Thursday, and haven't been live since? Is that really accurate? Perhaps that it is. Okay, so maybe when we're done, we'll all be essentially enlightened, including me, because right now I am having the worst brain fog. And so I'm going to try not to go back and try to recollect that. So whatever it is, and can't go back and fix it anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and release that, see how that worked. And so here's the thing. So for those of you who know me, it's no surprise, I'm naturally overly energetic, just who I am. So caffeine is not necessary for me. Really, honestly, it really should just be avoided at all costs. And it's been, well, Jacob will be 11. He'll be 11 tomorrow, so that could be a source of a little bit of ickiness right now too. But I don't like it. He's getting older. But it was right after I had him, I started having a caffeine sensitivity, and have suffered from anxiety for most of my life, and it presented completely differently with the caffeine, all of the physiological feelings, and so I really thought I was dying, and I was very relieved to find out that it was caffeine sensitivity and anxiety, and so I cut caffeine out, no issues at that point. Yeah, this is definitely when he was around. So it's been 10 years. And anytime that I would have even like a good amount of chocolate, my heart would race. I remember one particular year around the holidays, because, you know, this is what my Diet Dr. Pepper addiction moved to root beer, because root beer does not have caffeine. And caffeine-free Diet Dr. Pepper became unavailable when I was pregnant with Jonah. So, anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, so one holiday season, they were out, I think they were out of root beer, whatever it was. I ended up with A&W cream soda, and I thought I was dying, and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody we know's husband's a cardiologist, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to contact him. Something is terribly wrong with me. Not felt right for days. My heart is palpitating, like blah blah blah. And I go and I was like, because I'm not drinking any caffeine, and I thought, well, no, I had to buy cream soda. And I go and I look, and lo and behold, caffeine in it. So, I mean, caffeine has just not been my friend. You can ask my girlfriends. We went to an oily convention here in town a couple years ago. Gosh, it's been almost 4 years ago, guys. And we stopped at Starbucks at the mall, and they did not make mine decaf. Now, may I have forgotten to tell them that, yes, with all of the excitement. But regardless, yeah, we had a lot of fun that evening. So, caffeine is just a thing that I don't do. And then I don't know when it has happened, and I've been trying to figure out all day how it snuck back into my daily life. How did that even happen? Like, when did I ever have a caffeine beverage that I was like not having a heart palpitation and that I wasn't? Well, that's probably, to be honest, how I got everything done over the last 2 months. Now that I'm looking back, see, I told you we would be more essentially enlightened by the time I got done with this. So, regardless of how it happened or when it happened, it happened. And I didn't realize that it had become a daily habit for me until about 2 weeks ago. No, it was a little before that, but it was right here before the holidays. It was between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I had run out of coffee here at the house. And I thought, it's a pretty big can of coffee, because we don't do those Keurigs, because again, not a coffee drinker, and I stopped drinking decaf a couple years ago. I know most of you who are coffee drinkers are like, decaf is just ridiculous, but for me, it was psychological. It was tasted like coffee, it smelled like coffee, it's, the morning ritual. So I drank decaf for many years until I discovered how much acidity it caused in the body, and so I just, switched over to tea, and then we use oils quite often, and you can just drop oil into warm water and I don't even have to wait for it to steep. So yeah, I really moved away from all of this stuff, and I would have an occasional cup of decaf coffee. So again, I really don't know where it came from, and I'm going to try not to dwell on how it got there. But a couple weeks ago, I was like, okay, this has become a daily thing, and this is not what I intended. And I'm not gonna buy any more at the store. Well, by the end of I don't even think I made it to 9 a.m. before I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Not at this time of year. This would be insanity to try to dwell peacefully with others without coffee every day. So I've never in my life been more than 1 cup of coffee drinker, period. And not even this time. And again, like I said, it was decaf for a long time. It flabbergasted me that I've gotten to that place without even realizing it. So it was so stressful and running from place to place. Oh well, it is what it is. But so yesterday, I woke up and, I mean, those of you who drink coffee, and those of you who adult, period, every day. Neil does not drink coffee. It amazes me. He doesn't drink it. He drinks lots of tea, sweet tea, and when I say sweet tea, I really mean syrup, and then Mountain Dew. So, but that's what he does. Whatever, that's his thing. I mean, I'm like, coffee grounds in the coffee thing, eyes are like not even opened yet, and here we are back to school after winter break, and I didn't have any creamer yesterday, and I was like, okay, I'm going to the store. Wednesday's grocery day. I'm going to the store. I'll just get creamer, and I'll grab a coffee on my way to the yoga studio. And I didn't have time, and I didn't write it down in my handy dandy, list for the grocery app on my phone. And so to both stores I went, and on with my day, and didn't buy creamer and didn't have coffee. And I think that I just thought, well, the stars will align. I don't know what I thought. And my head was killing me all day yesterday. I'm like ridiculous, throbbing right here in the center of my head. And so, I grab out all the oils, and it's barely putting a dent. I did my yoga practice. Still headache, usually that clears things up. I come home and I soak in therapeutic bath. That didn't help. I'm like warm compress, cold compress, lots of whining. And then I was like, recovering hypochondriac as well sets in. Oh my God, the germs have gotten me. So, all these immune boosting things, and nothing was happening. And, it was just the kind of, again, brain fog. I'm having it now. So, off to bed I go early. I'm quite moody and definitely hormonal. And I woke up this morning, again, trying to peel my eyes open, and like the light from the day was intense. And I was like, I don't know that I've ever had a migraine, but maybe I'm having a migraine. And I was like, maybe if I can just get into the kitchen to make coffee, and that's when the light bulb went off. Oh. Ding, 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 I get it. I haven't had coffee in 24 hours, and this is a withdrawal from caffeine. So there it is. That's not fun. Who does stuff like this? And I don't remember experiencing this when I cut caffeine out of my life all those years ago, or maybe it's like childbirth and I've forgotten. I don't know. But and back then I used over the counter stuff, so I probably just knocked the headache out with some acetaminophen. But now that I know what it is, I go with a whole different route of oils, and I do feel much better at this moment. But I was thinking, how do I put things into my body, into my temple, that would make me feel that way without them? And why would I put something in my body to begin with that would cause and wreak such havoc? And boy, did that open a can of worms with all the other things. And so, you know, the life is a journey, and perhaps I'm starting to get that we are what we eat, and what we put in is what we get out, and all of those things. And, you know, just yoga teacher training really does, it really is so much more than what I expected. And that's one of the things that they talk about, really, is you become so much more mindful, and I'm so grateful for that. And now that the bulk and the worst of the headache has dissipated, hopefully the brain fog will lift as well really soon. I have some mental clarity oils I'm going to apply. But anyway, it's just a really interesting thing. And so here's the other thing. So when we were gone for Thanksgiving, was the first time I experienced this really weird fluttery feeling and lightheadedness. And I can't even really explain it. I really just took it as that we were really tired, because it was a lot of excitement. We were amongst all those 3 million people and all the energy. And, you know, woke up a couple times like out of a dead sleep, pounding heartbeat. And I just chalked it up at that until last month. And both of the times correlated hormonally, which is why I didn't freak out too much. But same thing started to happen. This weird feeling across my chest, just lightheadedness, almost like seeing stars. It was very different the way it presented. And so I called my doctor, and I was like, hey, I think I need to come in. I'm pretty sure it's stress, anxiety, but I just want to make sure, because it's this really weird prickly feeling going across my chest. And she's like, yeah, come on in, let's check you out. And you know, she was pretty sure that that's what it was too. And that's what I told her. I was like, it correlates with my hormones, you know, both times. Back starts to hurt. And I thought it was from all the walking we were doing in New York the first time it happened. But there was no excuse for it this time. I mean, barely could move. And so I was like, I think it's correlated with my hormones as well. And so, you know, she made me wear a heart monitor for a couple of days. And thankfully, the heart is okay. And that's what it was. But today, so I guess there is some clarity, just not the normal brain functioning that I'm used to having, the alertness, but more enlightenment today that the caffeine was causing a lot of this issue, because it disrupts the endocrine system. So of course it was messing with my hormones as well. So many things. So I had tried several things before with what I was putting into my body that may have been affected because of the caffeine I was putting in there. And that's, anyway, a whole other thing I'm not even going into right now. But when it comes to ourselves, a holistic self, the mind, body, spirit, and emotions, they're all intertwined. And so, really interesting to me, find it fascinating, even though it's miserable, how my body is reacting to not having that little bit of caffeine that I was getting every morning, because it's just a cup. I see you tune in, Megan. How many times I left my coffee cup in your classroom. So just interesting, because again, everything is connected. Whatever your belief system is, I won't get preachy with you, but the universe is, it's all connected, all by one. And today, as I go up to meet a client, there's this huge box sitting outside my office, and I was like, oh, I don't it was a Young Living box. It's like Christmas every month when I get my Essential Rewards order. And I'm like, I don't remember what I ordered. This is super exciting. Like, wonder what's in this big old box, because, you know, oils are tiny and this is a big box. And so I waited and opened it up, and lo and behold, it's 2 big bottles of Ninja Red, because I had ran out of Ninja. And I realized that this was a caffeine withdrawal. And I knew what oils, so if you wanted to know what oils I used, peppermint worked great at the roof of the mouth to help that happen. And then I soaked in the Feelings kit. I know I always talk about the Feelings kit, but it works, guys. So I soaked in the Feelings kit, and that really helped with the headache. But it is the energy, because I have felt like and I'm sure that the frigid temperatures outside is not helping, but I just feel really slow, and the brain fog. So I was saying, like, I need to go and get into my essential oils desk reference and see what I can use. I have an oil called Energy that I'm not real fond of the smell of, but I was thinking I might be able to use that, and I'll scan myself later and see what comes up, because again, there's some hormonal things going on as well. But I just love when the answer literally is delivered to your front door. So Ninja, I will be, not tonight because I want to sleep really well. And not that Ninja will keep you up, but for somebody who's like me, who is naturally energetic, it doesn't usually require a lot for me. I drink about 1 ounce a day and see what happened. Whenever the transition, somewhere it happened from Ninja to coffee. So there it is. It's insane. And how do we get into these things? And it really does. So, you know, I was a smoker for years, and I know, shocker. I know, here I'm really, and I smoked more than just cigarettes for many years. That was my coping mechanism and tool. And I know, really, I'm blowing your minds right out of the water, right? Can you believe I'm even telling you these things? And if you know me, you already know these things. Transparency all day long. But the same thing happened back when my hormones really went awry 4 years ago, before I discovered oils and before I really went on this holistic healing journey. And I turned back to unhealthy vices because in my head, if I didn't smoke, I was going to kill somebody. And it might have worked for a while, but most of us don't realize, if you do smoke, nicotine is an estrogen mimicker, so it's a hormone disruptor as well. So I was only wreaking more havoc in my body, and which was interesting with that, picking that habit up again, is that I actually smoked more the second go round, and I had quit smoking well before I had kids, so it was even a longer period of time. And I could never smoke in the mornings when I smoked when I was younger, and I probably started smoking cigarettes when I was about 13. I mean, not every day, but you know, that's the first time I picked it up. And never even like in my wild 20s, I couldn't stand the smell of cigarettes in the morning. But that time around, I couldn't wait till the kids got off to school so I could go outside and smoke. It's terrible to say, but that was the truth, because that was the only thing that I thought was going to get me through the day. Because if you've never experienced hormonal rage, then you just can't understand what I'm saying. And I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. And I experienced a hormonal rage between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which was what I was telling the doctor. So interesting that caffeine probably played a part in that. And here we think, most people don't think that, everybody knows that cigarettes are not a healthy habit to pick up. And I'm grateful that it has been well over a year since that habit was left in the ashtray where it belongs, and don't have any intention of ever picking that back up again. And in that interest, so okay, yes, 3 years on and off from the time that I picked it back up to the time I kicked it for long term, because that's a hard habit to kick. But I was thinking, said all that to say this, I was thinking how caffeine, people don't think about it as a drug, and that they don't realize the havoc that it wreaks within our body systems, because when you don't have it, you do feel like hell. And, you know, we don't see the destructive patterns that it can have. Might not realize what it's doing to our endocrine system or cardiovascular system or whatever, because for a really long time, I remember you could, what were those little things you could buy like 7-Eleven that helped with breathing, but they were caffeine if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember back in those high school days. It's not going to come to me right now. I'm going to have to use some brain power. But again, yesterday, everything happens for a reason. And so I had to I was going to drop off a coat at another local yoga studio yesterday, so we could get to some teenagers. And when I came around the back way, you just never know where your life is going to take you. I ran across two particular gentlemen in very interesting, peculiar situations that I'm just not even going to get into right now. And as I watched somebody else's Facebook feed yesterday with the local news channel, they had just dismantled another homeless tent city encampment, and that is why the one particular gentleman was very angry, and I ran across him in the parking lot as well when I went to park, and I was like, he's crossed my path several times. And come to find out, this was an encampment that was of folks who were shooting up. There were needles and everything all over the place, and we just don't ever know what somebody's going through that takes them to a situation where they feel like they don't have any other choice but to pick up whatever that vice is. So those of us who are being judgmental out there, don't, because what are you picking up, or doing that you're using as your vice? And if it's the motivation, that's the best word I can think. It's not the word I'm looking for. It's the best word I can think. Behind what your heart is behind it, that is the bad thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I try not to, have any judgment of those folks who smoke. I don't want anybody to smoke because I don't want your lungs to be charred. But, some people smoke until they're 90 and they have fun, and then some person has never smoked ever and dies of lung cancer. So to each their own and whatever, and don't try to judge. And anyway, this whole situation today just gave me a larger, more expansive perspective over our vices and over, it would have been so much easier for me just to go. And let me just tell you, if it wasn't 0 degrees outside, I would have found my way to a drive-thru for a coffee this morning. There's no doubt in my head. And it would have happened yesterday if I hadn't been running late. So, whatever, to each their own. And that's it. Is like, what if that vice doesn't work and you go pick up one that's a little more dangerous? And I did. I don't remember most of my 20s. That's no secret. So I give gratitude that none of my vices took me down a path that kept me or killed me. So not everybody that I have loved has had that blessing. So today I find a little gratitude in the mere headache that I'm experiencing, and the tiredness and the exhaustion and all of those things, because it could be so much worse. So I find gratitude in it, and hopefully the lesson will be learned, and I won't go back and make the same mistake again. I can't say that I won't. Those salted caramel mochas, they just call my name. And again, I'm very thankful that the vice of choice these days is coffee and not something more. And again, like, how can we judge what other people have gotten themselves into when I know I'm not the only one that has a vice? And so there's anybody that's sitting out there thinking, well, I don't have one. Is shopping your vice? Is food your vice? Is chocolate your vice? We all have a vice. Let's just be honest. Some is just being judgmental Oh, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. See, and I'm a little hormonal on top of it, so it's a very dangerous combination. As I said, I'm just going to stay indoors. I'm hibernating because that's just for a favor for all of you all. Because if you can see sitting, you can see sitting beside me. My little arsenal of oils right now is just very comical. So for those of you who are oilers, you will appreciate this. I have Lady Scleral Progessence Plus, which is the first oil that I ever used. It was my gateway oil. It's what saved us all. Orthosport, Dajaz, and Nutmeg. Oh, and let's not forget, now I have Ningxia Red sitting beside me. So I have this interesting combo going on, and I am very interested to see how this month correlated with my hormones without caffeine will be different than the last 2 months. So I'll keep tuned in for those of you who have some hormone imbalance, because that might be it. It might be elimination of caffeine may change it all. I'll keep you posted on that, but I really do need a jolt. So my new jolt will be in the form of Ningxia Red, and I'm super excited about that. I'm like so excited that I really want to just go with the bottle and have a drink now. And I'm going to first call I'm going to call for counsel because I don't want to stay up tonight, even though we miraculously have a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So I really don't have to get up early, but nonetheless, I don't really need an energy boost at 9 p.m. at night, and my headache is thankfully it's gone. Like, now that I think about it, it's completely gone. Before it was just very subtle, but it's gone. So I drank. Oh, that was the other thing that I did. Shout out to Joy Doss. She posted on the our private oil page today about drinking. What oils do you drink in your warm water? And that's why I said, oh, I had totally forgotten. That's something that I used to do on a daily basis. And I had a certain little regimen that I had. But today I did cinnamon and cardamom, which is a tea that we have at the yoga studio that I drank yesterday that seemed to help a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to just recreate that without the tea bags. And that did wonders. So, you know, guys, we have all the tools that we need. Maybe not at our fingertips, but we have the knowledge and we have the access. So it really is just putting them into practice. So I'm really excited to see what comes of this, and I really will keep you posted on it. There's lots of other changes happening. Like I said, we don't do resolutions around here, but lots of intentions have been set. Most of your all's holidays are over, but like I said, we have birthday tomorrow, and then we will start cleaning out where this family needs a good, nice, long cleanse. And so we're cleaning, the house is getting, the refrigerator, everything's getting cleaned out. That's why I said after this birthday cake fiasco that will happen on Saturday, we all need that. We need to eliminate some sugar from our daily intake. But, you know, I guess caffeine was the natural first step, which was so funny because it was not at all planned. And so it's what I say to people, I'm 2 days without caffeine completely accidentally. So this is like one of those unintentional intentions, the beauty behind that. So I'm not going to, that's why I said the universe is aligned and I'm just going to go with it. Because if I probably would have drank a pot of coffee, probably not. But anyway, and I would have fretted over it and, you know, probably made it way worse in my head than it really is in reality. And then, you know, it would make the symptoms worse as well. So there's something to be said about the unexpected. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, especially for those of you who may cross my path in the next couple of days. Just not be wary, but just be aware. What else? So I didn't come live to talk to you guys about the closet. So we're doing this partnering with my angel girl, Kim Earl, and we're going to be opening a community closet. And so I'm going to give you guys more information about that. But one of the things that are dire need right now are heavy winter coats, gloves, boots, scarves, winter attire for these kids that are standing at the bus stops and walking home and whatever they do in the elements, sub-zero temperature. So we'll be collecting those items and distributing them. So it was Tuesday, 10 a.m. that it became official. And since then, 17 was the last count that I had. Students have been coded. So that's an amazing thing to be able to pull that together whenever it's not even a thing, because we don't even have a name for it yet. So be looking out for that. If you want to help, we will be clearing out space on Sunday. Around 1 here, so we could use some extra hands and some extra muscle, and then hopefully we'll be able to start collecting things. And next week, can you believe that? Some things just happen so quickly. That's what I said. I wish every aspect of my life came together this nicely and happened so quickly, but some things you just need to work on the process, right? All in good time. So that was it. I didn't make any notes tonight because I wasn't going to be here this long, I didn't think. I wanted to talk to you guys about the caffeine situation because I know a lot of people do make resolutions, and I don't poke fun at people who do make resolutions. I just know that for me, resolutions are only like a wish. And so I really like to have some revelation and an intention of what I would like, and I try to break them down into small attainable things rather than one big thing for the whole year. But that's what works for me. But I know a lot of people have set resolutions or goals, and they are eliminating things from their life, whether it be sugar or coffee or alcohol or people, whatever it might be. And so withdrawal is not an easy thing to deal with. It just isn't, and cravings are not a joke. And so that's a good tidbit of information to be essentially enlightened about this evening, is that peppermint oil is great. And if your resolution or your goal is to stop smoking, black pepper oil is your go-to, guys. So if you want more information about that, I'll be more than happy to share that with you all. I will keep you updated on my progress with the caffeine, with the caffeine cessation and the hormone balancing. So I'm really excited to see how that all works. So anyway, deepest blessings to you all. Much love. Legs out.